episode 4 of Standing on Sports, St. Patrick's Day edition.
Turn up.
Turn up. Let's go. Yo, Sean, how you been, bro? It's been a while. You have a good weekend so far?
Life is good.
Life is
you
good.
know, had the St. Patrick's Day festivities yesterday. That was something. That was something. It was
Cool.
fun. It was really hot outside.
It was really hot.
Like burning.
We ran a 5K.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Mm.
So unlike me to forget my accomplishments. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I ran a 5K in the morning, off of like 4 hours of sleep. It was good. It was good. It was great.
Yeah, it was fun. I definitely want to do that more for sure. Like
Yep.
that, increase to a 10K, marathon,
Marathon.
ultra marathon,
Marathon in Berlin.
marathon in Berlin.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Actually, should we tell them we might be doing an abroad episode
Oh yeah.
down the line in May? So stay tuned, subscribe.
Maybe in Switzerland, maybe in Italy, depending on what's popping.
We'll see wherever they allow us to be.
But real quick before we get into action, I have a special shout out.
Special shout out.
You may be asking, who am I shouting out? Well, I'm gonna tell you, right?
Who?
Today, on St. Patrick's Day, it's my mom's birthday.
Oh
Right.
shoot.
Yep.
Yo.
Mrs.
where's the
Faircloth.
cheer? Happy birthday, Mrs. Faircloth. I never
Yeah.
met you, but you seem pretty nice. Thank you. Happy
She's
birthday.
she's a big supporter of the podcast.
Sweet. Let's go. One of our consistent viewers, would you say?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Sweet, sweet. Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that's a good way to get started in things. Are we starting? You want to start with NFL today?
Yep. The
Okay.
National Football League.
National. Okay, that is what that stands for. In case y'all didn't know, but yeah. So like, I mean, last episode we talked about like the free agency. I feel like it was just like listing out things by position, which is kind of like. I don't know, slow
It
pace.
was just
There's
there's so much
much
going
yeah.
on.
But there aren't as many now to talk about. But
So we can like
there's some
deep
good ones,
dive
though.
into some theoretical, some
Theoretical,
situational
Yeah. First off,
anomalies.
shout out to yo,
Shout out.
Shout out, yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald retired. I mean,
He had
he's
had a career.
he's a Hall of Famer. Probably first ballot.
Every single season, he was Pro Bowler. I respect that. That's hard to do. It's
Yeah.
hard to consistently be a defensive tackle. Like that has to be like
No, yeah, and he was dominant, and I think he did it right. He had a great career. He retired somewhat. He's somewhat in
only,
his prime.
like,
Like he was
32.
still super dominant, but he has a family now.
he's won a
He's
Super
younger.
Bowl.
He's run he's done everything he's wanted to do. Like he
Mhm.
had a great career. He's definitely going to the Hall of Fame. So
Get out
Shout out.
before you get like injured.
yeah,
you
that
know?
happens all the time. So
Yeah.
shout out, good for him. Good for him. Yo, so since we last went off, I think there are definitely some huge signings. Also a lot of trades.
A lot of
I
trades.
think the first big signing was like Danielle Hunter going to the Texans. I think that was huge. They did like a little like swap with the Vikings, like in a way where like it wasn't a trade, but the Vikings signed the Texans guy, pass rusher Greenard. I don't know.
Renata.
But I think, yeah. But I think, shout out Green because St. Patrick's Day. But
yeah.
I think Danielle Hunter is definitely a significantly better pass rusher. So the Texans upgraded. They paid more, but they're definitely like a win now team, which is like crazy. Like if you were saying that last year,
Yeah.
like that this time last year, like the Texans were probably considered one of the worst teams.
It was definitely a good signing. I meant Houston's definitely favorite to win the AFC South
100%.
by a large margin.
100.
Only getting better. Have a decent amount of draft picks this year,
Yeah.
so like they're in a win now, and they can definitely win. They should be in the playoffs this year for sure.
Yeah, I think another connection between the Texans and the Vikings is they recently had the trade. The Vikings got the Texans' first round pick, so they have the 23rd pick in the draft now, and their 11th pick.
Yeah,
Or
11
is
or
it
12.
11th or 12?
11 or 12. Yeah.
One of those. But I remember when I first saw that, I was kind of like what? Like why would they? Like I don't know. I was like I'm wondering what they're gonna do. But my prediction, and y'all can quote me on this. Yo, wait, we need to clip this. This could be a reel. But
We need like a moderator that can
we do
just,
need a
like, clip
moderator.
it.
Yeah,
if you're
but,
listening and want to be a mod,
mod
Let us
pay is
know.
low, but you're really helping us
pay
out.
is significantly low.
Yeah, but
Like, the bottom of the barrel.
anyway, I think the Vikings are going to use both their first round picks now to trade up into the top 5 and get Drake May or Jaden Daniels, and I think that'd be huge for them. I mean,
I
they,
like that. The Vikings offensively have a lot of weapons,
oh yeah,
and you need to do something to keep Justin Jefferson because
hmm
the only quarterback on your roster right now is Sam Darnold, and
hmm
Sam Darnold.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
I also think that I mean they have a great coach. I mean he got A+ rating in like the NFLPA rankings that came out a few weeks ago. Like just Kevin O'Connell himself in like the coach category. I think there was only like two other coaches that got A+. So I think Kevin O'Connell, that offense, they could do far, but they could go far. But the NFC South or NFC North overall is like a tough division.
it
Now
is tough.
the Lions, the Bears are gonna be interesting. I mean, speaking of the Bears, we can Justin Fields getting traded to the Steelers for like
Chump
literally
change.
nothing.
That
Um,
that is crazy to me, and I think the Bears have done Justin Fields poorly.
I agree. Yeah.
They did not build well around him, and then this offseason you go and he's signing a couple trades to get the ball going, and then what do? You just like give up on him, and I think that is ridiculous.
I know. I think it was in a way of like almost like a cop out from the organization not keeping him because like now let's say I think if they kept Justin Fields with all these pieces now and they didn't make the playoffs or they didn't do significantly better, they all would have been fired. Like all of like the coaches, general manager, I think they all would have been fired. But because now they can draft Caleb Williams, I think it's going to extend their time in Chicago because now it's like, oh, we're working with a rookie quarterback now.
Yeah.
So, and I think, I mean, there's no way Caleb Williams is not going to be the number one pick.
I mean, now it's like definitive. Now
Yeah.
that they traded.
Mhm.
And I think, kind of off what you said, the number one scapegoat in football is a quarterback,
100%.
even
yeah.
though they have nothing to do with the defense.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you lose, the first thing people are looking at is the quarterback stats, which is like semi right.
Mhm.
But there's 11 people on offense, 11 people on defense. You got special teams. There are so many players that make a team. There's definitely no I in team for football.
Yeah.
You can't do
So-
it all. You really can't.
Yeah.
And so like
no,
I don't know. I think they did them dirty. I think the Steelers are fleece gods.
Dude, the Steelers are like,
Russell Wilson and Justin Fields were literally barely a thing.
no, like literally, like it's gonna end up being a 6th-round draft pick, and they're paying Russell Wilson a little over $1 million, like for this 1 year. And I mean, honestly, I think Russ is a good quarterback. I think Broncos were a tough system, but even in Russell Wilson's worst season for the Broncos, that everyone said it was so bad, he still had 16 touchdown passes, which is more than Kenny Pickett's had in 2 years, like combined. So I think Russell Wilson's going to be fine on the Steelers, and I think he's going to be a really good mentor to Justin Fields because obviously that is the long-term answer for the Steelers, and it's going to be really cool to update our mock drafts because I think we both had
Oh,
the
it's gonna be
Steelers.
significantly.
We
different.
both had the Steelers getting quarterbacks, and
But now that they have Justin Fields,
it's like
my boy Bo Nix is not going.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I put
Penix,
Penix,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
I will say one thing. I'm gonna make a bold statement right now. The AFC North is gonna be the toughest division next year.
mm,
You got the Browns only getting better. Deshaun Watson's,
Yeah.
but their
got
defense
Jameis
is going to be
Winston
one
now.
of the best. Yeah, I don't think that's.
they have so many super like weapon. I mean, now the Browns have Jerry Jeudy on offense too. Jerry Jeudy
And I'm interested to see how
Cooper.
he does because I feel like the Broncos just suck at wide receiver development.
I agree. with
So I want to see how he does on the Browns. But like the Bengals are kind of Joe Burrow is
Joe
going to be
Burrow.
healthy. You know,
that. The Ravens are the Ravens.
the Ravens are
I
the
mean,
Ravens, and
I-
then
it's gonna be a really tough division.
the Steelers are looking a lot
It's
better,
it's gonna be one of those things where it's like all four of them can make the playoffs possibly.
which would be crazy. I
Yeah.
think the Bengals just may be crazy. Right now, may be the worst team in that division
And I think it's mainly because like they have the most question marks right now.
because
I mean, Joe Burrow coming off injury,
half their team doesn't want to play for
half their
them
team wants to
anymore.
play. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Boyd's free agent. Seems like T Higgins might get traded. I'm really excited to see like what happens with him. See if he gets traded. Let's see. What are some other signings that happen? Ooh, this is a trade. Panthers picking up Deontay
Okay.
Johnson from the Steelers. Yo, the Steelers are active.
Mid goes to
Oh.
mid.
Okay, that's crazy. We're lower than mid right now, but
Oh, well.
no, I like the signing a lot. He was one of the highest graded wide receivers last year according to PFF. He gets open. Does he always catch the ball? Not necessarily.
Does he get touchdowns? Not necessarily.
Okay, but he's gonna have Bryce Young throwing the ball. I don't know. I'm excited for some change. I think it's definitely an upgrade at like wide receiver 2 now. So the Panthers were still definitely going to be
You need to
not good.
draft a wide receiver.
We do. We do.
Yeah, you need to stop picking up mid to old aged wide receivers.
Dude, I know. I know. I want us to get like Xavier Leggett,
Xavier Leggett.
Lad McConkey,
No.
underrated. I think he looks good.
Well,
Um,
Montez Walker.
I don't know about that. But Mike Williams too. He's a free agent now. There's been rumors he might come to Carolina. I know that he interviewed with the Panthers. So look at this comes out on Wednesday, so maybe he'll have already signed by then. But I'm hoping he comes to the Panthers.
I think he would be, if he's willing to take a lesser price, he's going to be really good on a really good team.
Oh yeah.
I'm up.
Mhm.
Bengals. Wide receiver
Yo.
2. Get rid of T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd's a
True.
free agent.
And-
You can
and-
probably re-sign
And
Boyd
they can
for cheap.
honestly, I think the Bengals could get a significant. I mean, I've been wrong with a lot of trades already, but like, I would imagine you could get decent for T. Higgins. T. Higgins is number 1 wide receiver. I think you could get at least a second round pick.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well,
like, the
I
only
also
thing is-
thought that Justin Fields was a lot more than the 6th-round pick.
That is crazy. That is actually wild. Let's see what we else got here. I already talked about Jameis Winston. It's weird. Yo, C.J. Gardner Johnson going back to the Eagles.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
funny
flip-flop.
after seeing that tweet of what he like. I mean, obviously, like he's a talker, right? You know, he's gonna talk his talk, and he's most of the time gonna back it up.
Facts, yeah.
But like when they were playing the Eagles, and he was talking, talking his stuff, and now he's going to the Eagles, and now he's retracting it and be like, it's just in the heat of the moment, which is, I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
realistically, if you're a professional athlete, you gotta stand your ground, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, everyone's a professional athlete. They're significantly better. Like if we were on the football field, that would be abysmal.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't want people to walk all over you,
Mhm.
like if just you're so like. I think Senior Gargano, I think he was standing on sports, if you will. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
is not going to catch
was
on.
doing
I've
his
not
thing.
heard one
It is-
person say that in the streets.
I've said it in the streets.
You're okay outside of you.
All right, I'm gonna get more people to say it.
Right.
All right, any Calvin Ridley on the Titans, dude. The Titans, low key. I mean, I think they're still bad, but like,
Yeah.
low key making some sneaky moves.
I think it depends
They got-
on. I think it depends on Will Levis's play.
Willows. It's also gonna be interesting to see their new head coach.
Who's their backup? Is it still Malik Willis?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Actually, wait. Yeah, because Ryan Tannehill's a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Levis though. I think it's gonna be. It really weighs on him, and then also like their new coach Brian Callahan. We'll see
Yeah.
how he does. But dude, I'm excited to watch them. DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley, that duo. Should be
It's
good.
it's
It's
a
an
and Tony
interesting
Pollard.
duo.
It's interesting.
It is interesting because like D Hop's out of his
Interesting.
prime. Calvin Ridley, I think he still has more to prove. From it was kind of. I think I was really hyped. I thought he was gonna be really good last year, and he was decent. But I think I had a bigger picture in my head of doing much better. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
that was interesting.
We will see. Let's see. Who else we got on here?
Keenan Allen.
Oh, Keenan Allen. Yo, that's a huge move.
Another reason to dislike the Bears.
What do you mean?
You bring in all these weapons
Oh, and then trading.
and
just,
then
okay,
trade.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of bring in Keenan Allen and then tell your quarterback like
he's not yours.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like your number one wide receiver is DJ Moore and he's good. DJ Moore is good, but you didn't have a wide receiver 2. And now all of a sudden you're bringing in weapons but you're just like
Dude, Bears fans are going
Caleb.
what right now? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you hit for a second.
Yeah, hit
but-
the yell. We need
Yeah.
one of those other buttons, but dude, yeah. Caleb Williams is going into like a great situation now.
That's
Um,
crazy. Keenan Allen's really good, and
Mm-hmm.
even though he's older, he's still putting up numbers.
Dude, I mean, like, and he got interviewed when he got to the Bears about like, why did you feel like you'd? Because they wanted to give him like a restructure his contract to get him paid less, and I do agree with him on this point. He literally had his best career year, and they want to pay him less. Like, I understand where he's like, okay, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go somewhere else. It honestly just like it all happened so fast. I did not.
And it did, and I think it was. I don't know. I thought it was crazy because like the Chargers had 4 players over 30 mil, and they were 20 mil over their like the cap.
Yeah.
They restructured Joey Bosa, restructured Khalil Mack, and then they released Mike Williams.
Yeah.
So right there, you're sitting probably around like roughly. This is an estimate, like 50 mil so now you're under by like 30 mil. And I was like, okay, Keenan Allen, he'll stay,
Mhm.
he'll get some more money, and then all of a sudden he's traded. So now you're
Yeah,
significantly under
dude.
the
It's
cap space. So I'm interested to see what they're doing.
and it's crazy. I saw something like 57%. There's a stat like 57% of Justin Herbert's career completions, touchdowns, and like throw attempts to players. 57% of those are now gone because Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are both gone.
Dude,
Austin
your
Eckler
your
gone.
number one
Like
wide receiver right now is
Quentin
Quentin
Johnson.
Johnson, and then the number two is Palmer.
Oh, I forgot about Josh
That is the
Palmer. Yeah.
worst wide receiver
Well,
room
yeah.
right
And it's
now.
crazy because it was like probably top five.
It was a
Yeah.
healthy Mike Williams and a healthy Keenan Allen are significantly better than a lot
They're
of teams.
they're definitely drafting a wide receiver like what they're
You
gonna
have
pick.
to.
Like Malik
There's no
Neighbors.
point.
Because I don't think Marvin Harrison's gonna fall.
They
But
might be a team that drafts two wide receivers out of necessity.
I could see it. I could see it. Um, that'd be crazy. I mean, I've seen some rumors. People are like, Justin Jefferson go to the Chargers. I don't see that happening though.
He would hate that probably more than playing at Vikings.
I don't know. If you have Herbert throwing you the ball, who is a little overrated, not gonna lie, in my opinion. But
Uh,
another trade that happened. This one's like not crazy significant, but I thought the Falcons fleeced the Cardinals, getting
did.
Rondale Moore for Desmond Ritter. I mean,
they got their wide receiver too,
Mhm.
Rondell Moore.
they're the
You
Falcons.
have an offense of Kirk Cousins, Rondell Moore, Drake London, Darnell Mooney,
Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts.
Bijan, Kyle Pitts,
They got
Tyler Algier.
like a top 10 O line. I mean, that's it's gonna be a
If
fun
I'm in the
team to
draft,
watch.
I'm stacking that defense up.
Dude, get like Dallas Turner with the 8th pick.
That
think-
that would be crazy.
Dude, because I mean they already have like Jesse Bates on and AJ Terrell, and honestly I think the NFC South is up for grabs. I think it's the Falcons and the Bucks to fight for. I don't think the Saints.
The
And
Ants.
yeah,
That's crazy.
the Saints and what's it called? Panthers. Don't really have a
Okay,
chance
you
yet.
forgot that.
For on my own team,
You
yeah.
forgot your own team. That's crazy.
You wanted to talk about Curtis Samuel on the Bills.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's actually a
Dude.
good signing. You get rid of Gabe Davis, the guy who either goes for 8 and 120
Dude, yeah.
or goes for 0 on 0 targets.
He's like literally like the fantasy football, like you don't know to start him. or
yeah,
bench
he's
him.
like,
'Cause
I'll throw him in, but God knows what's about to happen.
you could start him and get 0, and then you could start him and get like 40. It's like wild.
Exactly. And you pick up Curtis Samuel, who I see Curtis Samuel as like a Debo type player. So he's a wide receiver by trade, but he's like a running back. You
I
can
agree with
use
that.
him in a more mobile situation.
He's definitely not as versatile as Debo. I mean, the fact like Debo can break tackles, I don't think
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel's that type of guy. But I mean,
I think he's like the type of like
you'll see him do end arounds with him.
yeah.
Like I think he's a much more valuable player than Gabe Davis. So I think
yes.
overall it was a good move from the Bills.
Josh Allen will definitely like him.
Yeah,
But is Josh Allen and the Bills keeping Stephon Diggs?
dude. Yeah,
Because they've been beefing all
Stephon
season.
Stephon Diggs like tweeted out like 3 days ago or something like that. Something about like whatever happens, making it like seem like there's some trade talks being talked.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I would probably do that as a player just to
Yeah,
stir the pot. I don't know. I love
Low-key.
stirring the pot.
yeah. Stephon Diggs does seem like that guy that like stirs the pot too. So
I mean, he was the one that stood there with his hand, the famous
Mm.
picture from this.
standing on business. Yeah.
No, that was after
I'm
he
sitting on
lost,
sports,
so I
my
don't
bad.
think that was. the
Yeah,
case.
no, he was like
He fell off
I think
of
sports
sports.
were standing on him at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Let me see. I think actually there's a few other signings I'd like to probably like 2. Yo, Marquise Brown to the Chiefs, dude.
Okay, when
Dude.
you texted me telling me that they signed him, I was waiting because the Chiefs, for some reason, the past few years they just sign like older wide receivers
Yeah.
for like a 1 year contract, and you had
Juju,
Juju, MVS,
VS, yeah.
and like I was like, who's that guy this year?
Marquise
it's-
Brown.
Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Dude, I think he's good.
I think
mean-
he's better than the other two that they
He's
had
definitely better.
before.
I think he's better than what Juju was.
Yeah,
He's definitely better than any. And I think they're still going to draft a wide receiver.
they have
But
to.
instead of like Xavier,
But they got
Work-
Rashee Rice too.
That's true, and he popped off in the end of the season. I think because for a while I thought they were going to get Xavier Worthy after, him breaking the record and, like, they like speed. But now they have the speedy guy and Marquise Brown. They might
Mhm.
go for bigger dude. I don't know.
I think you go for an outside receiver.
Maybe like a Donnie Mitchell, like from Texas or something like
Yeah,
that. I
I
could
could
see
see
that.
that.
Whoever they don't get, the Panthers didn't get the next pick. But anyways,
Unless they, what surprised me, the Panthers just picked up some like linebacker at the
bro,
33 spot. That'd be hilarious.
yeah, it'd be so funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Anyways, dude, Devin White on the Eagles. I cannot, dude, the Eagles and like the 49ers are like
the
those
rich
teams where it's
get
like,
richer.
bro, they got like the infinite money glitch. Like, how
Well,
are
I
they
know
able?
it's because Purdy's still on his
Okay. Rookie deal.
rookie. I was gonna
Yeah,
call it a
and
freshman
he's like only getting
contract.
paid like 875K a year, something like that. Because I mean,
Yeah,
he would be in the last pick and everything.
yeah,
That's crazy. I would love to be getting paid 875K a year.
that'd be great.
That would be nice.
We got paid to just
Yeah, what if we
do
got
a
paid to do this
podcast.
podcast? Yeah, this is like we don't get paid for this, by the way. We do this because like we
Unless
just love our
we
fans.
land sponsors. So if
Yeah.
you own a company, work for a company that's looking to sponsor us,
Hmm.
we have a decent reach.
Decent.
Reach.
And
We're gonna be posting more content. We're having a business meeting early in the week about content.
yep. So I highly recommend like y'all try and sign us now before
Before we
bigger
get too
companies.
big.
Yeah, because I mean that's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like energy drinks. We like sports. I don't know, I like a lot of things. I like
I like
clothes.
I
Like,
read books occasionally.
Yo, books. Barnes and Noble sponsor.
That would be
That'd be
that would be
crazy.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
for the life topic, that'd be good.
That'd be great.
Let's see. I think that's like the last one I really want to talk about. So I guess like a quick transition into college football. We weren't really going to talk about college football, but recently they've changed the playoff without even doing the 12-team playoff. They're like, all right, let's add two more teams, make a 14-team playoff. And I don't.
Wait, you're saying there's a 14-team playoff?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I love the
I would say
soundboard.
like what I thought we talked about this before. Like you don't know about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think
it's-
you're never gonna have 14 teams that can actually win a
Mhm.
championship.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's also just if they added like maybe 16, I would think more about it. But like it's also like two teams. Like I feel like just like it's not significant for it to be like such a big thing. But it's also like why would you do it without seeing how this goes? And also I've heard there's talks. This isn't like confirmed or anything, but like um certain conferences getting like a Big Ten and SEC getting like auto bids into the playoff. I don't necessarily love the idea of that. I rather just be the top 14 teams.
Yeah.
If you win your conference, it'll make the conference championship have more meaning in a way. But I was watching this podcast and like I think it adds more meaning to the playoffs, but it takes away meaning from the regular season because like every game is so important for those big teams and honestly for every team because like you lose one game you can't do anything, you can't make it to
Yeah.
the playoffs. But I think it's for the next several years the same schools are going to be the good schools, but I think it'll eventually like even its way out with recruiting because now other teams have the chance of being like, all right, like we truly have a chance to win a national championship because if we get into the top 14, then we can make a run. But like I remember you saying, and like you talk more about it, but like the idea of like a Cinderella story in like college football is a lot more difficult than in college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like realistically, kind of like what I said in NFL, you have 22 players, right? Offense 11, defense 11.
Mm-hmm.
One player is not gonna do everything on football. In basketball, you can have
Mhm.
one player that goes off for 30 a night, and if the rest of the team can relatively do their stuff,
Yeah.
they're good. You know, but in football, like, there's not gonna be a Cinderella story. Probably like 98% of the time, you're always gonna have one
Yeah.
like outlier. But if you're telling me right now, so if we were talking about the 14 team playoff like this year,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take Missouri as like the Cinderella story
Yeah.
because they were like picked to be bad. They got a couple good players like from the portal, and then they had that 5-star receiver Burden, who signed with them like a year
Oh,
before.
Burden, yeah.
Yeah. they were really good, right? They were really good.
Mhm.
But I think if you put them in the playoffs and you have to play like Georgia again, or like an Alabama, or Ohio State, or Michigan, I don't think they'd win, right?
Yeah,
And even if
and
you beat one, you gotta go to the next round, and you're
and
playing someone even better, and that's just not kind
dude,
of work.
I can agree because like the thing is like just a few years ago, like when Cincinnati made it into the top four, like they
Everyone wanted them in so bad,
everyone
and so
did,
did I because I was
and
like, yeah,
yeah, no, like it's like you want to see it, but like
it was
they
bad.
they couldn't beat two teams, but now like a team like that, if they make it in, they'd have to beat four teams to win it all.
Yeah.
So it's like the odds go less, but I don't know. It's gonna make bowl games more fulfilling. There's definitely pros and cons to both. Honestly, I
I
think
feel like
overall I like it more than I dislike it. Um,
I have a very neutral stance
mhm.
because I like it because obviously those games are going to be so important.
Oh
Your
yeah,
views are going to go up. Everyone's going to have like, oh, let's have a watch party. Like I'm sure like
facts. Yeah,
like you and the boys or ladies
yeah, yeah,
or everything else. Um,
yeah,
you'll get together and you'll watch more games, right? Instead of just the national championship,
yeah.
you'll
And
be
it's
like,
gonna,
oh, let's watch the quarterfinals game, and everyone's like,
yeah, that's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
crazy.
sure. So like, it's gonna bring a lot more like money in. It's gonna be like more fun to watch. Everyone's gonna lock into those. But the rest of the bowl games are gonna be even more meaningless.
Oh, like you mean outside of
Yeah,
like the top
like
four?
the
Yeah,
the Pop Tart Bowl is probably gonna be like one of the
one of them. Yeah,
that would be fun. That
yeah,
the Mayo Bowl.
yeah. Duke's Mayo Bowl.
But like
Yeah,
let's just say the like Bad Boy Mower
I mean, yeah,
Bowl.
like
That's gonna be pointless,
no
and
one's
no
gonna
one's gonna
care
want
about
to do
like
it.
the number 15 and number 16 team playing in the
Yeah.
whatever they'll be playing in. I don't know, but like that's a good point. That's a good point.
So it's like obviously I'm a fan of both South Carolina and North Carolina, and I like watching football. Realistically, both of them right now are not top 14. Both of them aren't.
Yeah,
And I would still love to watch your bowl game, but like,
hmm
what's the point of the bowl game?
that's true.
You know,
And
like
you know there are upsets in college football, so I do imagine there are going to be upsets. I don't know. I think
I just don't I
it's
just think if you're a quarterfinal team, there's so it's what 14? What does that even mean?
I don't know how it's
Like,
going to
how's
work.
that look?
So that means like the first top four would have to have a bye, right? I don't know.
Then what are we doing with the 10? Because that would be 5 games. Because that wouldn't make sense.
Never mind.
So is it the top 6 get a bye?
Yeah,
No.
the top. Yeah, the only way they do that.
I don't even know how this is working.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. I don't know
Yeah,
if they've even like talked about a
I don't even
format.
think so. I
I
think
don't
they
know.
just like randomly during the week they were just like, let's make it 14.
Sick. You gotta
You
love
know,
that.
something crazy.
Something wild.
I think it is like a. I mean, everything at the end of the day is a money grab.
Yeah,
So
that is true. That is true.
it's just a way of the road.
That's the way the story goes. Um, all right. I think. I mean, on that note, that's pretty good. Transition into like some basketball, some b-ball.
It is that
Dude.
week. The week is here.
Dude.
Catch me Thursday, Friday. Actually, don't
Bracketology.
catch me at all. Don't even text me. Because I'm
Okay.
locked in.
I'm watching.
12 hours a day outside of my controls class. I will be, well, I'll probably have it on in controls.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Had my exam last week if anyone cared. You know, it went pretty good.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah, I'm trying to graduate. I'm
Mm.
really trying to graduate. But it's the week. March Madness. I love it. My favorite time of the year. Favorite time of the year.
Dude, it's gonna be good.
And these past couple of days have been absolutely insane for conference.
Dude, yeah, UNC losing the championship.
I mean, that was bad, but it wasn't, honestly, that wasn't even the worst thing that happened. There's been so
Dude,
much.
yeah, there were
like
so many upsets.
Houston getting walloped.
Houston,
Duke losing early on to
Purdue losing to Wisconsin.
Purdue looks bad.
Um,
Okay,
Tennessee.
I wouldn't even say these teams look bad. I don't even know how much you really take into account conference tournaments. Realistically,
I think it's really
like
just
if
for,
you know you're locked into the tournament, you know,
that's
like
true.
what does this really matter?
I
Per
say yeah,
se?
if you're locked in already, then it's like not so much effort into you putting forth, but obviously like it'd be cool to win.
It would.
But no, it's definitely more important for those schools that are like, all right, if we win, we're in. Because
Yeah.
it's a thing where like if you win the championship, like you're in
Yeah,
you're in no matter
you're
what, right?
automatically in. And I think
It's like,
like
so NC State is in now, and like they definitely were
they
like
were
nowhere close to
so
getting in.
far from the
I
bubble.
mean, they were like
yeah.
the what? Were they the 10 seed?
Yeah, they were 18 and 14 before the
That's
before the
crazy.
tournament
I
started.
saw that one dude. He had like 29 points against y'all.
Yeah, for some reason we can't stop that dude. Like the other two games that we played them, UNC won, but he's still dropped
Dang.
like 25 plus. I don't
It's-
know, but like I don't know. Conference tournaments just are weird to me.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I enjoyed watching USC. Actually, I really didn't enjoy watching
Dude,
USC play.
Auburn,
'Cause, dude-
for the love of God, why is that our
Dude,
kryptonite?
Auburn owns South Carolina
They
when it comes
own
to
them
bat, like
so.
or men's
If
basketball.
with the brackets being released at 6 o'clock tonight,
Yeah.
I'll be watching that.
Yo,
Y'all
yeah.
should be watching it. Well, it's gonna be passed.
Yeah, we should
but
do like a bracketology, like for the
We
for the
definitely
viewers.
should. Yeah.
See who
that'd be fun.
joins. That'd be hype.
Yeah.
That'd be
But
down.
that'd be funny. A little like bracketology.
Yeah, we can definitely like.
Yo,
we'll-
that could be like a live stream, low key.
Yeah, that'd be hype, and we'll compare our brackets on like probably the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, we need to do like a bet, like not only a bet, but like whoever's between yours and mine is like more accurate or less accurate
Has to do
has to do
something.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, comment down below like what you'd want like the loser of like a challenge to do. Good ideas only,
Yeah.
and bad ideas too. Any ideas only.
Nothing that would cause
Permanent damage.
permanent damage.
Or I don't know. how I
Or
feel about
any
that.
damage. I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to-
Hope
yeah,
preferably
I'm
no
not
damage.
really trying to get damage.
Yeah, yeah, same.
But
I don't want to hurt my face, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the brackets come out 6 o'clock. Where was I going with that? What was I saying before?
I know you're talking like before the podcast. You're talking like this conspiracy theories.
Oh. Oh yes. I have a very, very evident theory. I'm not even
Evident.
calling this a conspiracy, right?
It's not even a
All
theory
right.
anymore.
So here it is. Everyone lock in. Turn up the volume. Turn on noise canceling.
Lock in.
Lock in. Because I have something to say. So conferences, right? They
Mhm.
make X amount of money. I'm not exactly sure how much per team that gets into the NCAA tournament, and they get X amount of money per game that one of their members in the conference wins, right? So say South Carolina wins 2 games, they get 500,000 total. But if they won a third game, they would get 750.
But that's not just for South Carolina. It's for the whole conference.
It's for the whole conference
Okay.
they make money, right? So with the conference tournaments giving an automatic qualifier out, like we said, conferences, I believe, are tanking to get more teams into the tournament. Now, I've been seeing this for a few years because I watch basketball a lot, but more evident like this year, just because like running this podcast, I've been focusing a lot more on sports, just because
Yeah.
I know we'll talk about it. And just to hit some highlights, right? Mississippi State was a bubble team, right? They won their first round, and then they had to play Tennessee. Tennessee is significantly better. Significantly. I'm not even like, let's not even play that game. Mississippi State was a bubble team. You get a quad one win against the number 3, 4 team in the nation, whatever they are, 4,
Mhm.
and they're off the bubble, right?
So are they in now? Would you
They're
say?
definitely in. They're definitely going to be in because they have that
Dang.
one. They have another significant win. I mean, yeah, did they end up losing to Auburn? Yes, because
Mhm.
I think Auburn is better than Mississippi State,
Yeah.
right? Next example, the Pac-12 was only going to get like 2 teams in, Arizona and Washington State.
Washington State. Yeah.
Oregon, I believe, I always like Oregon. Mainly their color scheme's fun.
It's
Well,
clean.
neon,
Nike.
you know,
Shout
something
out.
crazy. But they only have 7 people, 7 scholarship players that are healthy. And you're telling me they run the gauntlet and they win the Pac-12, beating Arizona and then Colorado last night? I don't believe it 1 second. Now I'll get it. You know, like we just said earlier, these teams are more desperate, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they want it more, but you can't tell me having 7 scholarship players, you should be losing to Arizona, you should be beating Arizona, who's a
Yeah.
one seed, quote
And-
unquote.
And like with Mississippi State, Tennessee, like it's also interesting because I mean Mississippi State like significantly beat Tennessee, but also Tennessee is also fighting for the 1 seed. Like because they
Yeah.
lost that game, like they're not the one. They're a 2 seed now instead of
Yeah.
a 1 seed. Like, where if they won, probably would have been the 1 seed.
Yep, probably most likely.
Do you think they had the edge over North Carolina? I
Tennessee, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it depends on if they take head to head because North Carolina did beat Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
But
Then they
the,
probably
the
beat.
SEC is better than the ACC this year.
Hey,
So-
every year.
No.
Okay.
But so like that's the thing. All right, another case. I have a few more examples to go for this. The ACC is having a down year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're projected to get like 3, maybe 4, which is bad for a team that has like 12 plus in the league,
Yeah.
right? And then out of nowhere, NC State wins 5 straight games, being the likes of Duke, Virginia, and then North Carolina last night.
And they had a losing record in
Their
the
conference,
ACC.
yeah,
They
they
were like
were
what,
like
9-11?
something.
No, I think they were 9-11 before, like during the tournament. So
It was bad.
they were low.
They were under 500. But so a team that was nowhere near the bubble now is in, making the ACC have 4 definite people in, with Virginia being on the bubble, and we'll see tonight how that goes.
Oh, is Clemson in? Would you say?
Yeah, they're
So
definitely
Clemson,
in.
Duke,
Yeah.
and UNC. Okay.
And now NC State, which has no right being in there, legitly. So that's crazy. And then we go to the A10, the Atlantic 10. They're a top 2 seeds for the A10 loss, and Dayton, who was the 3rd seed, who played the very last game of the night, they're a lock as an at-large because they're 7-7 in quad 1, quad 2.
Mm.
So they have like good wins. So they're a lock in, I believe. And so what do? They lost, right? And so now the A10 goes from having only like Dayton making it if they win their tournament to now whoever wins today out of VCU and the Cuse or whatever, how do you say that name, will get in. So they'll have 2. So they'll have more money going to the conference, right? And then the Mountain West Conference has a lot of teams that are actually kind of make it from there, I believe, like 5 or 6, with New Mexico on the bubble, right? And then since they're on the bubble, they all of a sudden beat the better teams in that conference, and they won their tournament last night, so they're automatically in. They're no longer a bubble team. I feel like that's a little crazy. And then the last one, Texas A&M, right? They got to win against Kentucky. That moved them off the last 4 in, and now they're significantly in just because you have another quad 1 win against a really good Kentucky team. Like I just feel like these tournaments just look very fishy, right?
Also, like with like, I mean, the amount you still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 examples just from this year. It would be really interesting to like go back and look at when that's happened. Last year, the year before.
Yeah.
And it makes perfect sense, like why they would like why. I mean, if you already have a seed in there, like if you already have your seed in there, why not lose now when it doesn't really matter?
Yeah.
Get more money in the future for your conference. I mean, it makes sense. Like it makes perfect sense. Have you heard other? Is there like this? Like you telling me this about this is like the first I've heard of it. Is it? Has that something talked about at all? Like, are people in the comments like, "Yo, like this is rigged"? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, everyone will say it's always rigged, but with no like actually looking into it. I don't think I've actually seen anything looked into it. I just heard. I remember from last tournament, I heard about the conference making X amount of money, and then like per win you make money.
Okay.
So then that got me thinking this year with everything crazy that's been happening in these last 2-3 days, like, well, if that's the case, then why would I not try to get more teams in the conference?
Yeah, it makes sense. And
Yeah.
also like, 2 things. Well, first, I think this would be a good like reel and YouTube short content. Like yo, like conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
I feel like
we're
that'd
like in the basement of 300 Main.
Oh yeah. No, I
Make
end
it
up
obvious.
like yo, what's going on? No, I think that'd be a good one, a good reel. But also, so how does this affect seeding? So it's like I know you said A&M's gonna go significantly higher, but like, are a lot of these teams that were in the bubble that aren't? Are they gonna be like 16, 15 seeds, or like? Are they going to be like what like this
So-
NC State? Are they going to go like way up because they wanted, or are they like I don't know, how does that work?
So how it works is the 13 through 16 seeds are for teams that win their conference, but they're not like the no-name conferences. You know, like McNeese State and like Western Kentucky,
Oh,
or like Longwood, or
Longwood,
Moorhead
yeah.
State.
Yeah, Longwood.
Great teams to be in the tournament.
yeah.
I'm hoping
Shout
they
out.
make a run.
Mm.
But
Natty Bound.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But so they're more for that. So you won't see like NC State or like any bubble team. The highest you will play in the play-in, which is like the last 4. 2 get slotted into the 11 seed and 2 get slotted into the 12 seed.
Oh,
And they
okay.
do the play-in on Tuesday, Wednesday, to then go and play the 5 or 6 seed in the first round.
I got what you're saying. Okay.
So by NC State, they'll probably be an 11 seed. They'll probably be in the play-in. Even if you win your tournament, you can still be in the like play-in
I mean,
or
that's
something like that.
it makes. I mean, because like it'd be, I mean, 11 and 12 seed. I mean, that's like I was thinking they'd go like 16 or something like that, but no, like I mean,
Yeah.
you still have to
But
fight for that, I
the
guess.
thing is, with you more so the likes of like Mississippi State or New Mexico or Texas A&M.
Hmm.
Um, let's take Texas A&M for example, right? They were a bubble team, so they looked most likely to be like an 11 or 12 that would have to play in Dayton. Now with that like another significant win, they'll probably be like I imagine like a 10 seed, a 9 seed if the committee really likes them,
Hmm.
and they don't have to do that play-in game. I don't think any team wants to play on that first game
Yeah.
because then you would have to say if you played on the Tuesday, you would have to play on the Thursday, and you beat that team, you have to play on Saturday. So we have 3 games in 6 days.
Jeez. Yeah.
So like I don't think any team really wants to play in the play-in.
Yeah.
So having another significant win bumps you off that, and some other team has to play. So
Okay.
I think there's just a lot of things fishy with this,
Hmm.
but
And
you know,
the theory makes a lot of sense. With that, like going into that though, like a lot of those teams that are fishy getting in, they could easily be a first round exit kind of thing because like
oh
they
yeah,
really shouldn't be there.
I'm
So
very certain that teams like Texas A&M, NC State, I do think NC State's decent, but I think they'll play a team that's better than them.
yeah, but like so
I'll see them as first round exits.
who do you think is like an under the radar team that could make a run or
Um,
like could
I see some like
get a
under
few
the
wins?
radar, and by like, I want to like preface by saying under the radar to me is this a team that's not expected to win it, right?
I feel like there's also a lot of teams where it's like they're good, but they're not talked about. But
Yeah.
then there's teams like Tennessee and Purdue, and like that's all you like. Those
I
are
think
I
I
feel
think
like
those are
all you hear
I
about
think
is
this
those teams.
year, mark my words, outside of UConn, because I still think UConn's really good, and they got a 5-man roster
But yeah,
that's just
they're really good.
great. I think every other team is very fraudulent. Like they have fraudulent aspects.
I
Like
was
they could
thinking
get bounced week
I was seeing
one,
Houston was like good, but then they got like
dismantled.
they got destroyed by Iowa State. Like what 20 was it? They lost by like 28
28.
points.
I think it was 28.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
which is
It was like the
crazy, man.
third biggest margin of victory against like a number one ranked team ever.
But I would say some of my under the radar. I listed about maybe 5. I don't think all of these teams are like natty bound.
Yeah.
I would say under the radar in the sense of I could see them making a couple upsets, get to the Sweet 16.
I understand.
The first one I do think could get to the natty is Auburn.
I'd agree with that.
I think their defense is a lot better than it used to be, and their offense is very high powered.
Dude, I mean,
But I've seen them lose to like Florida, and Florida scoring
And
100 on them. And it's
I-
like, what's going on here? You know,
tonight,
like
I mean, y'all are gonna like listen to the podcast by the time this game's over, but like tonight for us is the SEC championship.
actually,
we'll
wait, it's supposed to end right now
Oh, it's
because
ending
it's
right
right
now.
at 1. Huh? I'll
Oh
look it
shoot.
up.
Let's see. Okay. Because I mean, if Auburn wins, you think will they be a 2 seed if they win the SEC? You think?
The Auburn,
Yeah.
they would be right now. They're what, like a 4 seed or 3 seed?
I'd say probably 3.
I think they either solidify like a 3 seed with a win, or they somehow move into the 2 seed line.
2 seed. Okay.
But I don't know who you would knock out.
Yeah, maybe Tennessee, but I don't know.
I don't think Tennessee would slip that much. I think the
Who the other-
Marquette would be,
Oh, Marquette's a 2 seed.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Marquette should go down.
So right now, Auburn's up 11 with 8 minutes to play.
Okay.
And I feel like they'll hold on.
Yeah.
And it's 68 to 57. So like I said, they're back on their defensive grind. They're offensively not playing like they're not scoring like 90,
Yeah.
but you don't have to do that if your defense is playing great.
And I agree with that. I kind of like what I was saying about under the radar teams. Like, they're a team that's like not talked about.
No one's
You know
talking
what I
about
mean?
Auburn.
Like-
We talk about Auburn because every time they play South Carolina, they beat the living daylights out of us.
40 and then what, like 29? Like,
Yeah,
dude,
it was bad.
dude,
I think
I'd-
another team that I don't think they'll make the national championship. I could see like an Elite Eight. San Diego State.
oh really?
They got some good players. The Mountain
They-
West is a lot better.
They
this
made the
year.
Final Four last year, right?
Yeah, but the Final Four last year was some weird teams.
Yeah, it was San Diego State, Miami, Florida Atlantic,
And UConn.
and UConn.
Like
Okay.
that's not gonna happen this year.
Yeah, that's valid.
But I think they're good. Now some teams that I think will pull off some upsets, do some damage. I'll just list them: New Mexico, McNeese State, James Madison, and Colorado.
I don't know much about McNeese State.
So the only reason I like kind of know about them, they're 31-3.
Oh dang.
Um,
Oh,
and I think they beat they beat like a good team in the out of like a
Are
Power Five.
are they the team that like they just got a new coach and they're like we're gonna win?
Yeah. No, oh
They
yeah,
like
yeah.
turned
He
it
made
around
the
completely?
statement. He's like, yeah, we had 25 losses this year. This ain't or last year. This ain't gonna happen. That I'm here. We're gonna have 25 plus wins. And then I've heard one because
Hey.
he's the old head coach at LSU, Will Wade,
Oh, okay.
and he was the coach before somewhere else, and he's a really good. He got the LSU job, which LSU for basketball is like abysmal job to get.
Oh, really?
It's like Vandy for football.
That's crazy. Okay,
Shout out Vandy.
shout out.
They
Dang,
also fired their basketball coach. Vandy
dang.
is poverty. Anyway,
Fuck. Yeah,
so like,
you got baseball, I guess.
so he
But
got fired from LSU, but now he's trying to make his comeback, and I think he won't be at Michigan State after this year.
oh yeah, no way.
I could see him
Ohio State maybe.
Ohio State maybe,
Ohio State. That I think
or
Ohio
I
State.
think there's gonna be more vacancies open soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like being in the tournament right now.
Mhm.
Well, I saw there was a team that like they. Oh, it was like Long Island. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw
they
that.
they like they said they're not moving forward with their coach, and then
He agreed to like still coach for the tournament,
they some yeah,
And then they won.
and then they made it into the tournament.
so now they're going to March Madness.
Yeah.
So do you keep him? I don't know how that works
Dude, I
legally
don't know either. Yeah.
from a legal aspect, but I
Um,
think as
Yo.
why would you fire him before the conference tournament? I
Dude.
heard, I saw in the comments. Obviously, I don't know if this is real or not because it's comment section on
Yeah.
Twitter. um, but I heard that they just got a new like athletic department, like an AD. So,
just like want to like change.
I think they were trying to go for like a full on change. But I
Still-
don't.
but
Still,
still,
I
like,
don't
I
know
think
why
you
you
should-
don't
you should
wait
at least-
until the end.
I mean, like literally wait a few days.
Like Long Island ain't gonna be a hot commodity to be a coach at.
Yeah, really.
So,
One team though, it was St. Peter's. Could they make
They're
could they make
back.
another run?
They're back. I
'Cause what,
think
they made
like,
it to the Elite Eight last year, right? They make the
yeah, no, 2 years ago.
2 years. Okay, they're the first. They're the only 15 seed to ever make it to the Elite
Yeah.
Eight. Final Four.
They're back.
Final Four bound?
Purdue is shaking in their boots.
Zach Edey doesn't know what to do.
That was crazy that he beat Zach Edey. Like,
Yeah.
how do you? I don't know, but I think there's gonna be a decent amount of upsets.
Dude,
James
I'm-
Madison, 30 plus
JMU.
wins this year.
Dude, I'm excited.
I'm hyped.
gonna be-
These Thursday and Friday, 32 combined games.
Dude, stay tuned. We're gonna be posting a lot of content. We're gonna be talking about the upsets.
Yeah.
We need to like make like who's your favorite to win it all right now? Or like, do you have like a top three that you'd say, or like?
Top three, I'll probably like. I think UConn's definitely number one.
Mm-hmm. Like the team to beat.
Yeah, I think, and right now, I feel like there's just a gap after that. Like,
Really?
I,
Yeah.
I, don't know, I still believe in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe, 28 points is crazy.
It is
to
pretty,
lose
yeah.
by, but I still believe that they're good. And I think Baylor, honestly, is a good team to watch out
Really?
for.
Also in the Big 12. Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the Big 12 really grows you well for it. I still like North Carolina, but,
Why?
know,
It's interesting that you said Baylor and Houston though, and like you didn't mention Iowa State. You don't think Iowa State's
I
built?
don't believe in Iowa State.
Okay.
I love that they're doing well. I love seeing, like, new teams do well.
Mm-hmm.
But Iowa State is. I just don't. Their defense is really good, but their offense isn't the best.
Yeah.
And I think if you go against a team that can shoot 3-pointers, like if you get slotted and they play like College of Charleston, who has one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country year in year out, you play McNeese State.
McNeese State.
Like, I don't think they're winning that game.
Really? Okay.
I think they could get first rounded,
Mm.
if not second rounded.
Dang. Okay.
And sometimes you gotta make bold decisions.
I think. I don't know. I think UConn's still a team to beat. Houston's good. I'm really interested to see like how Tennessee does because I feel like they're really good, but then they do like
They're only
they do-
good if Dalton Connect does good.
That is true, and
He went 4 for 17 and they lost by like 20 something.
but even like we've seen him put up 40 points and still lose to Kentucky.
That too.
Like, cause he is like that whole team.
he
and that's another
he
thing, too,
has
like,
to be.
So this is like a legitimate question. I don't know, like the Naismith Award, like the best player of the year. Who does that take into account the tournament as well, or is that award kind of like? Is that award only like a regular
I
season?
think it's a regular season
Okay.
because they have like an MVP of the tournament. So I would like.
Okay.
I would think that's different. Not for sure,
Not for sure.
but I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot of upsets the first two
Yeah.
days.
How do you think South Carolina's gonna do?
I'm actually scared.
Yeah.
Like obviously love South Carolina. I
Yeah.
love that we're doing well, but we don't look consistent at all.
Dude, I know.
And our
Mm.
defense is pretty good, but our offense is not consistent.
Dude,
BJ Mack hasn't been
I mean,
consistent.
when we
Michi hasn't been consistent.
I think we went like 2 for 15 on threes
We
against
can,
Arkansas or something like that.
yeah,
And I mean, we still won that game, but like 2 for 15 on threes is
you
not
can't do
good.
that in the tournament. I
Like,
think for me, like a rule, like in my head, is if you can get 6 to 7 3 pointers a game, you'll win. As long as you're not like abysmal on defense.
yeah,
Like 6 to 7, play a little inside. Like you have to. Okay. My issue with South Carolina, right?
hmm
You rotate 2 free big guys, right? You have PJ Mack, Gray, and Colin Murray Boyles.
shout out.
And I think the only good big guy that they have in the inside is Colin Murray Boyles.
Yeah, I agree with
BJ
that.
Mack is good, but he always kicks it out. He's not like a low post presence. He's more of like a mid range shooter,
That's true.
3 point
Yeah,
shooter.
he'll shoot those threes.
And he's
Yeah.
good at it, but if you're not on the ball there, like,
hmm
and Michi Johnson sometimes I feel like trying to do a little too much.
Well, I think he's always like doing a lot, but I think some games he's on and he like goes off, but other times he'll try and go off, but like the shot's just not landing, and like
Yeah,
that can be that's honestly hugely detrimental to the outcome of the game.
it is.
So
I'm scared for them. Honestly, like low key, I have like
What-
bracketology up.
what's their like what's their seating looking like? Like six,
They
like a
are a
s-
5, and they have them going against Sanford. But Sanford is an offensive team, which scares
Sick.
me. That is.
And would that be on Thursday then?
We don't know until
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, okay,
They
that's
like
valid.
announce it.
What are your thoughts on UNC? I noticed like I'm surprised you didn't have them like championship. Like when I said that earlier, like what?
Well, I like to keep it relatively non-biased here.
Okay, but you legitimately like don't think that like they're
I think right now they're Elite Eight, but I'm also scared that they're gonna get like knocked off.
who do
When they
you
played NC State, RJ Davis and Baycott looked like the only guys that wanted to be there, and it got me thinking. Like, because I was talking to my dad about it because he watches basketball as well, and it got me thinking. Cormac Ryan and Harrison Ingram, they're 2 transfers that are playing really well. They've
Mhm.
never been to the postseason before.
Oh, really?
So, like, are the lights too bright?
Oh,
Is
the
it
lights
one of
too
those
bright.
like Jarrett Jackson or Jarrett? What's the Jared Allen memes
Oh,
for the Cavs where he's
Mhm.
like the lights were too bright?
that's wild. Lights are too
So
bright.
like it gets me a little like nervous. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, March Madness is March Madness.
Okay. And now like the last like question that I have, like just curiosity, who's a team that you could see knocking off UConn? If that's like the favorite that you say is like
Ooh.
the number one, who's a team that you think could pull off that upset?
I want to see another UConn UNC matchup because they played earlier this year, and UNC was like they were okay, but they hadn't have it all together.
Yeah.
I want to see them now that they have it mostly together.
Yeah.
I want to see a rematch, but I'm not saying that UNC would win, but I think it would probably be like an instant classic type game.
I also think that, I mean, like this goes for any sport. Like a meeting in the beginning of the season versus the end, like Alabama, like they
Mhm.
had like that 3 game stretch against like UNC, Kansas, and another team, and they lost them.
They lost all 3.
And now if they played all those teams,
I think if they play Kansas, they beat the crap.
Oh
out of
yeah,
them.
I agree with that too.
Kansas is gonna get hot take. Kansas is getting first rounded.
You heard it here first.
Their starting 5 is the only good players on their team, and 2 of them are injured right now.
Are they a 4 seed?
Right now, I think they're slotted as a 5 seed.
5, okay.
They have them going against a 4 seed against Yale. If they play Yale, they'll probably beat Yale. But all right, I'd say Houston is still the best bet to beat UConn.
Okay.
But I
Houston
don't
must be-
think they'd win it.
Really?
I just don't think right now there's any team that's gonna beat UConn. Maybe Auburn.
Maybe Auburn.
Maybe Auburn.
Auburn looks strong. Like,
I know,
dude, like they just, and I mean, granted, I've only seen like 3 of their games maybe, but like they just seem like when they played USC in the tournament, they just seemed like they just wanted it more. They
Mhm.
seem so much bigger, so much more agile. Like they they're like scary out there. And like
Yeah.
dude, they don't smile. Like bro, I was like the whole time I was like, bro, like you're up by like 20 right now. Like why are you like still frowning? Like they look mean.
Yeah,
Dude.
and I think like realistically, this is win or go home.
Mhm.
And you have a bunch of like 18 to 22, 23-year olds.
Mhm.
You got to instill it in their mind that if you're not playing today, like you're not going to play tomorrow,
Dude, yeah.
like this is it.
This is it.
And like some of these teams like a North Carolina, like a Kansas, like a lot of these teams, I'm afraid that they'll get knocked off because their mind isn't right.
Yeah.
I think
Overall,
your mental psyche has to play a lot into this.
no, 100%. And like especially playing back-to-back games. I mean,
Yeah.
like I think it's going to be a really good tournament though overall. I think
No, I'm
especially
so
like
excited.
kind of like what you mentioned too, like there's not besides UConn, there's not really that other like significantly better team where like if UConn does get upset, it's legit like who's gonna win. When I
Mhm.
because like last year Final Four, I think it was like okay UConn's probably gonna win. If UConn doesn't like play stupid, like they're gonna win the tournament.
I didn't really pay a lot of attention last year just because North Carolina wasn't in it, so I was like, or South Carolina, so it's like
No, that's fair.
Western. But then when I saw the Final Four was them, I was like, one, the ratings are kind of be dog doo doo, which they were. Two, I was like, the only team that I like could name like two players on was UConn.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what is this? Well, okay, never mind. I knew Miami just because they're in the ACC,
Okay.
but I didn't think UConn was the only team there that I was like, I could see holding a championship and it be like not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think this year there's a lot of teams I could see holding that championship.
Good.
If UConn like loses in the Sweet 16 or like early on, then it's gonna be a Wild West.
Wild West out there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Sweet. I think that's a good like transition off of sports
Yeah.
though. Like, stay tuned with like bracketology and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be good. Life topic for the day. So Sean, what do you define as success or being successful? What does successfulness look like to you?
Mm.
You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
like this is a deep question.
It is. It is.
And the thing is, like,
Yeah.
I knew we were kind of talking about this before,
Oh,
and
that's wild.
I'm like, my answer's still not fully. Like, this one's probably one of the harder ones to talk about.
I mean, because I feel like it's a question that like doesn't really. I mean, it's definitely
It's not open ended.
It's
Like, it's
open-ended
obviously
question.
up to you what you
yeah.
decide.
Like everyone has their own answer.
And I think success, I do think money plays a little factor into it,
Mhm.
but I don't think like myself nor literally everyone, like anyone should, like deem success as a money thing.
Yeah.
Granted, the way the economy's going lately, you might need that money, but
Fair,
I
fair.
think success is to probably, in a sense of like leave your mark, like to be remembered. Like if you pass away,
Like
to
legacy?
be remembered, yeah, like a legacy type thing, right?
Mhm.
Like I would deem success as like if when I go one day, right,
Mhm.
and I still have like a family, like I want to have a wife and kids, right?
Yeah.
Like most people.
Facts.
Obviously, you can do whatever you want with your life, but
Yeah.
I do want, like a wife and kids in the future, and like I want them to be well off for themselves, and I would want people to remember me. Not saying like I'll make some life changing design or something that
But like,
changes
I guess like the people that are important, the
Like-
people that are important to you remember you for.
what I
Good thing.
did, who I am.
Yeah.
Like I'll always joke around, but at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna be like a demonic figure to people, So
Yeah.
like I just I don't know. I feel like in life you can enjoy a lot of things without like it takes very little to be nice to people,
Yeah.
and I feel like in life you get if you're nice to people, more doors are open than
Mhm.
if you're like not nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like to be successful, if you just have the right mindset and you're like open to people, that will open up more doors to you, to me, and then I can do, like I don't know, like volunteering. You don't have to do it every week, but if you do it once in a while, you're making an impact on someone. They're most likely come remember you.
And not only like the impact you leave on someone else, but I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like after you do it, you feel like accomplished. Like you know what, like I'm doing something.
Mhm.
Like you're taking your time to do something for someone else, and like honestly, like whenever I do that, like it always feels good. Like I've done something that I should be proud of, or like just helping someone out. Like it's a good feeling. Like you're taking your time to help somebody else out. And like I guess my definition of success, like it's similar. I think everyone's is like similar in some regard, but like for me, like the two most important things are like happiness and like passion. And what I will consider successful for me is just being happy with my life and doing something that I am passionate about. Like this podcast, for example. Like I enjoy doing this. Like it makes me happy like doing this podcast. Like who knows how many people are even gonna get to this far in the episode? But it's like if we have zero, if we have a million, like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like we're just
Yeah.
doing something that's fun and that's the kind of thing that like I want to focus on. You know, my family's important to me. My friends are important to me. I think success is about like having your core values and just like sticking by them and being like proud of them. And I think that's another thing too that I've learned a lot through college. I believe in high school and before then, like I always had my values, but I didn't really know what they were, and I also wasn't necessarily proud of them. Like I wouldn't go around, you're always around the same people in high school, middle school, and all
Yeah.
that, and it's like I think you're just trying to impress those people. Um, but once you can, find people that have similar likings as you, similar mindsets as you, similar goals, you become more comfortable with yourself and like, you know what, at the end of the day, like if someone doesn't align with me, that's okay.
Mm.
Like we'll have our own opinions. Like this whole question, like success, like your answer is different than mine, but like I feel like at the end, like success to me is just like what makes you happy in doing that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
No, and I think I like what you said. I feel like in everyone's life, like if you go to college, if you don't, that I hate that argument about like, oh, you gotta go to college or like, you can do whatever you want, right? And you can make money, you can
hmm
live well off, you can do whatever. I don't care. But I do think college has been great to me in a sense of like it is 4 years away from like high school friends. And I went to high school like an hour and a half from here, but I only know like 4 or 5 people from my high school
hmm
that went here, which is crazy. I thought there'd be more, but it doesn't really matter. Um, but it's just like away from you really find yourself when you're put into like the deep end when you
yeah,
like you move somewhere like even if you don't go to college, what if you just move out your hometown and you have to go like make friends or go just live your daily life, like you'll truly find your like you said your values,
hmm
and you'll find like the right people for you. And I think it would be also interesting to look back at like your friends in high school. Like I met most of my friends in high school like freshman year, and we
yeah,
had all the same classes together. So like by
yeah,
default, you had to be friends, or you just be that loner dude sitting in the corner
that's
playing
true. Yeah,
Roblox or something. I don't know.
Roblox,
Yeah,
great.
and so like I think it would be interesting to like look back on it, and would you be friends with them now? Would the person you are be friends with those people? I'm not saying like any of my friends from high school are bad.
hmm
I still like to talk to a decent bit of them, and they're still good people. But it's just, you know, does your mindset and your values change a lot? So like, would you still be friends with them? What do you think?
You know, it's interesting too because like I think from high school, like I mean I have no there's no one I hate or dislike from high school, but I think it's just more of like what you have in common and obviously like what's the word for it? I guess like the pool of people in high school is a lot smaller than in college. And like I feel like when you're growing up, when you're younger, it seems like when you're around the people you live your whole life, you have school with them from like kindergarten all the way through senior year of high school, like it feels like those are the only people you're ever gonna know. And then you get to college and like I talk to maybe five of them on like five people from high school on a regular basis. Now,
Yeah.
if I see someone from high school, like I'm gonna say hey most of the time, like no bad remorse. But no, that is a really good question. Like, would I still be friends with them now? Like, if and honestly, I don't know. It's like, and I think friend isn't necessarily like the word. Like, I think like an acquaintance, like someone I get along with.
Hmm.
But I think it's just like I think there's this thing, like I think there's seasonal friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
there's people that come and go in your life, and when they go, it's not necessarily because of a bad thing. It's more of just because like y'all both made a transition. And I think going that's like what you're saying, like whether you go to college or not. I really enjoyed college because I feel like it's been a great transition for me, learning about myself. Like it's a great transition from going from like kid, middle ground, college, adult. I mean, I'm technically an adult now, but like, I still feel like a kid, you know?
Yeah, I feel like until we're working a full-time job, you're not like deemed an adult, even though
Yeah.
legally, obviously, we're both 22, so like we're
Yeah,
adults.
yeah. So I don't know. That honestly is a good question. I mean, like, I guess it depends on like, like if there's like a fake relationship, then there's probably still a fake relationship now. But like, I don't think any of my relationships in high school were really fake. I just think it was more of like I really didn't know my values then,
Hmm.
and like what I deemed someone that I would hang out with on a regular basis or whatever. So I don't know, but
I do think that's also like interesting. It's like I have a lot of people I would deem like friends or
mhm.
someone like I talk to, but it's like I feel like the value of friend wise is like can you sit in a room for a longer period of time and have a conversation with them without it just being like a lull or feel like work, you know?
Yeah, yeah, like it's not like a chore to like have
Hmm.
a conversation with them kind of
And,
thing.
and I saw one thing the other day and I forgot like what it was about, but it was just like um it's like you would value the relationships with people like if you can only have a conversation about one topic with someone like that's not a true like relationship with someone, you know. That's just like the topic's up and it's like if we only talked about sports,
Only sports, yeah.
yeah,
That,
which is the podcast, but
yeah,
like
that's
if
crazy.
we talked about only sports I still think we're friends but I wouldn't deem it like any like a more significant friendship, you know.
No, that's valid. That's valid. That makes
Mhm.
sense. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. It's like, oh yeah, overall, like I'd say, and this looked like success, like friendship and everything. Like, that was a good question. Hey, that's another thing too. If y'all have like any questions or like life topic things you want us to talk about,
We're open to
we're
any
open. We're low key
suggestion.
running out of ideas. We can probably just look on the internet, but we
Yeah,
love feedback.
yeah.
Let us know what y'all think. Let us know y'all thoughts. Like, what do y'all consider success?
Hmm.
Um, and any questions you have for us too.
Exactly.
So, yo, on that note though,
I
I
think
mean,
we're signing
that's a
off.
good sign off.
Hold on, let's hit him with the
Hey, let's go.
episode.
Episode 4 in the books. Hey, and like always, y'all, remember to keep standing on sports.